Blessed love to each and everyone. Give thanks. Welcome to the Tiger's Nest. Honorable Priest Isaac here with you, just sharing joy and happiness and giving thanks to the Father of creation. Give thanks to Negus and Negas, the bear. We talk about Madani Alem. We speak of Emperor Haile Selassie the First, glorified Mother of creation, Menen, Empress of light and love. How good is such a balance of Asar and Aset? We have a wonderful little presentation. We don't intend to make it too long here, but we are going to speak a bit about the situation that is taking place in Palestine at this moment, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, as they refer to it as. And what really moved me to do this presentation is two callers that called to a specific radio program that I'm going to highlight in just a moment. And their views just interested me. And I said, let me bring this to the wider public and see exactly what they have to say about this. So we're going to get into that now. Just reminding you once again, as it relates to the upcoming summer solstice, the virtual edition. Definitely, you should register while it's early. Remember, all payments can be made using the Cash App, which is Atonra 2723, and we will put that link in the description below. And any transaction, pardon me, whatsoever, as it relates to us, that the Cash App can be used as it relates to that. So remember, we're talking about from Thursday the 17th to the 20th of June, the summer solstice virtual edition, double hike to Green Castle Hill. I was there last night observing the movements of the stars. What a wonderful presentation that the heavens gave to us. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that interview for you. Yes, this is off of the Facebook page of the Observer Radio. And this is the morning program here, Observer AM, with the host, Mr. Darren Matthew Ward. And this is Mr. Antonison King. Both individuals, well, this is the host of the program, Mr. Antonison King, is a mathematician, at least that's the post he was really representing here on this program. They were actually speaking about COVID-19 and statistics, but he said he wanted to say something about the situation in Palestine, and he said his little bit, not too much, but callers called in to put their point on the table. That's really where we are here, so I want you to listen to this and follow along.
Yeah. Other things have to be taken into consideration.
All right. Thank you so much, caller.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, caller. We have another caller. Good morning.
Hello, good day.
Hi, good day, sir.
Yes, I want to know if you know what the suffix ISH means.
No, you tell us, please.
Okay, it means not, sort of, or pretending to be. So when you come to the Israeli-Palestinian, I want to draw to your attention that most people think that nationality has to do with that suffix ish. So if somebody was to tell you that they are Jewish, which you know the Palestinians are saying that those people are not from there, you would recognize it in just what they told you, that they are not Jews. But you see, in English, they tell you the things up front, but most people don't comprehend.
Do you have a question, sir?
They don't know the language, so they interpret things wrongly.
Got you. You have a question?
But from the language, you will know people who say they're British are not Brits, and Spanish are not really from wherever they claim
Understood.
to be.
You have a question now?
All right.
Okay, I guess not. Good morning. That's it. Okay, we have another caller. Good morning. Short and sweet, please.
Hello?
Hi, good morning.
That's me?
That is you, yes.
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering, how is it your guest, Mr. King, could be comparing countries, the rates, and comparing countries' cases and so on, and say who is worse and who is better?
I never said who is worse or better.
Without even saying what the rates are. because of the population differences, you have to calculate the rate first, and then you compare.
Okay.
Thank you.
What do you mean by the rate?
Well, I think the person.
The rate. For example, the death rate.
Oh, I
In
see.
Antigua, the death rate, 42 out of
hold on
over
there.
1261 months.
One moment, I think.
Yeah, they were. We'll call it a
If
wrap.
you were limited by...
Yes, good morning, Mr. King.
This is
Good
the
morning,
call.
dear.
Now, please, tell the Palestinians, do not interfere with Israel. Israel has the right to defend herself.
So those the Palestinians.
Allow her to finish. Allow her to
Pardon me?
finish. Allow her to
Go
finish.
ahead, you go ahead, darling.
Yes, I'm just saying, if you interfere with me, I have the right to defend myself. I am praying for Israel. I am just saying Israel has the right to defend herself.
Gotcha.
Tell the Palestinians, do not interfere with Israel. God gave them the land belonged to God, and he said, these people through Abraham own the land.
Thank you. Caller, one last caller.
Okay, well, that would be on another issue, but you definitely get a good idea of where we are even with that. All right, so basically both callers, well, I know you heard three, well, 2.5. One was not really on the subject area that we're speaking of, but both callers, the first one that you heard, the brother that spoke, I know him personally. He's a brother that they refer to as the analyst, and he usually has a very provocative and controversial, I would add, outlook on many subjects, for sure. Yeah, definitely. You know, if you're a woke person, you could say he's one of us, if you want to call it that. I do not know the other sister that called him that was saying she was praying for Israel, but they have a lot of that around here. A lot of people who are Christian-minded, religious in thought, their outlook of it is that, well, the children of Israel have the right to the land, and anyone that thinks that, you know, they should just humble themselves, but they're trying to say, well, they need this peace and that peace, they should just humble themselves because the land belongs to the children of Israel. Now, in theory, if that was so, that may be so. Let me say that again. In theory, if that was so, that may be so. For example, if it's your house, it's really your house. Am I correct? No. Let's be honest now. Let's be honest. If it is your house, it is your house. You know, so what the sister is saying, and obviously she's looking at it from her religious point of view. The children of Israel are in the land. Leave the children of Israel. You are lucky that they have you there still. Remember, they have big military in America to back them. You are lucky you're there. Oh, so just leave them alone, and I'm praying for them. And I think that's her outlook. Good. Now, as I said, in theory, if it's your place, it's your place. But that's definitely not the real theory, though. And that is what I want to get into. Now, of course, this is our book, Anu. No, not Anu. Well, it is Anu, Ancient and Modern. But this is the book I was looking for. This is the book known as The True Biblical Land of Israel. Some of you would have already had a copy of this book, The True Biblical Land of Israel. A very good read, I would say, if I do say so myself. This is, of course, one of our ebooks written by myself, True Biblical Land of Israel. Now, what I want to highlight within the book, specifically the whole aspect of the creation of the land of Israel that we know today. Now, listen to this here. And this is from the chapter known as the initial plot. Okay, here it is. This won't take too long. It says here, when Israel is mentioned in this modern time, whether it be ancient history or current events, the land Palestine, political Israel, usually comes to the mind of most. Modern day Israel was officially created in 1948 with the full support of the United States of America. Now, those are my words. Now, what we're going to read here is, this is something that we are quoting. We're quoting it from the historystate.gov website. And it says here, creation of Israel, 1948. On May the 14th, 1948, just a few days ago, while all the bombings are taking place as far as the anniversary. On May the 14th, 1948, David Ben Gurion, the head of the Jewish Agency, proclaimed the establishment of the State of Israel. United States President Harry S. Truman recognized the new nation on the same day. Although the United States supported the Balfour Declaration of 1917, which favored the establishment of a Jewish national whole in Palestine, President Franklin D. Roosevelt had assured the Arabs in 1945 that the United States would not intervene without consulting both Jews and the Arabs in that region. The British, who held a colonial mandate for Palestine until May 1948, opposed both the creation of a Jewish state and an Arab state in Palestine, as well as unlimited immigration of Jewish refugees in the region. The brother was just talking about ish, Jewish, you know, blackish, you blackish, or will you be Africanish? Anyway, Great Britain wanted to preserve good relations with the Arabs to protect its vital political and economic interests in Palestine. Soon after President Truman took office, pardon me, he appointed several experts to study the Palestinian issue. In summer 1946, Truman established a special cabinet committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Henry F. Grady, an assistant secretary of state, who entered into negotiations with a parallel British committee to discuss the future of Palestine. In May 1946, Truman announced his approval of the recommendation to admit 100,000 displaced persons into Palestine, and in October publicly declared his support for the creation of a Jewish state. Throughout 1947, the United States Special Commission on Palestine examined the Palestinian question and recommended the partition of Palestine into a Jewish and an Arab state. On November 29, 1947, the United Nations adopted a Resolution 181, also known as the Partition Resolution, that would divide Great Britain's former Palestinian mandate into Jewish and Arab states in May 1948, when the British mandate was scheduled to end. Under the resolution, the area of religious significance surrounding Jerusalem would remain a corpus separatum, Latin, under international control administered by the United Nations. Okay, you could see I wanted to seal up reading that. And again, you can see the source right there in the book, statehistory.gov, history.state.gov. Okay. And you can actually click on it if you have the electronic book, and it carries you right to the article itself. And we also highlight in the book, this is our book specifically, The True Biblical Land of Israel. This is something you can order. You could get this from Amazon too. You go on Amazon, Priest Isaac's books, Amazon, The True Biblical Land of Israel, the book Anu, and of course our previous book, not our latest book, ain't late at all, it's very early, talking about the heavens declare the glory of God. All three books specifically, you could get them on Amazon. You could get them from us. And remember, when you get the three books from us, you get you get something special there. You know? I think it's a month worth of the Shock of the Hour. I gotta recheck that, but something big you get, man. You get good stuff, man. And you get the three books for only $50. The three of them together. All right. But anyway, so the New York Times now of that very same era there shows you as I said here, the New York Times highlights the new state of Israel. Zionist proclaims new state of Israel. Truman recognizes it and hopes for peace. He hopes as if they didn't know what was going to happen. Well, Truman, I don't know if you're in your grave listening or if you're turning in it or whatever, hoping for peace. But anyway, the real aspect of this book, The True Biblical Land of Israel, as you know, the theory behind the book really is to show that according to the biblical description, the land of Israel, geographically described again in the Bible, is the land of Africa plus Arabia. Whether a person agrees or not, for sure, I'm telling you, what the Bible says. It doesn't have to do with if the Bible is real or whoever wrote the Bible. That's not the point. The point is that the Bible describes the land of Israel that it's talking about, and the description geographically is Africa plus Arabia. But interestingly, still, this area that is known as Israel today is still a part of that geography. It is a part of the geography in reality, but still it does not necessarily belong to the people that claim it, that are referred to as Israelis. No, they're not Israelites, Israelis. And as the brother said, not Jews, but Jewish, wishing they were, Jews as such. And we also did a program about 2 strongs ago, just before this violence took place, concerning this was on the shock of the hour, by the way, concerning the brothers from Demona, the brothers and sisters, the families from Demona that they're planning to expel. And at the same time, that was passed, that what you call that statement, that was the right term for that edict, whatever they call it. But when they made that statement, there was a celebration that they were having, where there was a big stampede that broke out, and there was 44 to 50 people that died in that stampede, like the next day. What I'm saying, the brothers that left Chicago and carried their family, brother Ben Ami, Ben Israel, and all the other brothers that were with him, and the sisters and their young ones, and all that they have done in the land of Palestine. In Dimona, they were eventually settled, came to Liberia. You know the story. But at the same time, they're more indigenous to the land than the Israelis and even the Palestinian. Now, the Palestinian at the same time, is really horrible. There's so much to say about this, but it's extremely horrible how these people deal with the Palestinian people. Real horrible. I personally am not a fan of anybody mistreating anybody with warfare and these different things at all. And I know people would argue that, well, the land of Palestine doesn't belong to them neither, like I just said, really. But to be honest, I don't even think that's the point, really. I don't think that's the point at all, for you to be doing this sort of thing here, and all of this destruction and mayhem and bombing, and it's all a part of trickery. It's nothing for no peace. Then you have the United States saying, well, I hope it stops. Israel has the right to defend itself. But I'm looking more on the spiritual, or the religious aspect, I should say, of it. As you heard how the sister expressed herself, because somewhere in her miseducation, she's believing that, well, listen, these are the children of God, Benjamin Netanyahu and the crew. These are the children. These are Moses' descendants, King David family, and taking back their land, which that itself is not even the land as such, according to the biblical expression. And they are not the people. You see, and interestingly, in the book of Revelations, it talks about a set of people that say that they're Jews and are not. And I always ask the question, so who is them people that say that they're Jews and are not Jews? Who in the world? Don't tell me it's the Hebrew Israelites. Nah, man, it's the Jews. The Jews are the ones that say that they're Jews, but they are not. Synagogue of Satan, and it mentions it twice. Woe be unto those that say that they are Jews and are not. You understand? So interesting how this is happening. You have the Black Hebrew, African Hebrew Israelites supposed to be kicked out. Then you have the Palestinians who are definitely being oppressed and downpressed. They force the Palestinians to fire them 7 rockets. They know what pressure does, and they know if they can fire 2 little rockets, they have a clear way now to go and bomb the people them to smithereens. They know that. So they push them. You see, they push them, talking about housing project. They push them, dig them, so they get upset. Say, nah, man, we can't take no more. Fling 2 rockets over there. Choo, choo. And they struck back. Oh, we have them now. Pull out the heavy ammunition. Just bomb them, to smithereens. Can you imagine? Yeah, it's all a part of the plot. And we now talking about God bless them people here. Well, language is a mystic thing, eh? So, as I said at the beginning of the program, give thanks for Madani Alem, eh? Exit bear, Haile Selassie. So if God, good, Guth, is dealing with them, I know it's hurtful to some, eh? But sooner or later, we're gonna have to confront language, whether it's this generation or the next, because we're moving from lowland to highland. Yeah, but I'll leave it at that. Yeah. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. So as I said, you could definitely check these books on the Amazon. And of course, as I said, if you are dealing directly with us, you could even make your payment using the Cash App, which the link is in the description below. But of course, you contact us as well using our email, honorable, well, that's all of that, not in email. It's priestisaac27@gmail.com. You know it. priestisaac27@gmail.com. Do give thanks, Holy Manuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed love.